Hello and welcome to Wicked Wednesday, my friends. I decided to look up the statistics of this stream, and today is show number 176. It's actually day number 176 because early on I streamed multiple times during the day. I had 2 streams during the day on some days, but I never did a Record Label Boss show twice on a day. So show number 176, and 1 week to go until my vacation. Lots of things that are new. Hey Meg's Beauty, how you doing? And thank you Kitty Wah for following me here on Record Label Boss. Today we're going to do an AMA. Ask me anything. My name is Avio. I'm the president of Count Zero Records, and you're welcome to ask any question today. Hold on, let me just center this shit. That's what we usually do before the show, and we line up everything. This is why you have this. I'm dropping stuff. I had a very, very hard day today. We are doing Discord development, and quite a few things were not working out. Hey, Yo-Yo, how you doing? So it was a very, very challenging day for me today. So I'm eating some feta with olive oil here because I'm Greek, and Greeks love feta with olive oil. Just gotta add some white bread, and everything is good. So, if you are, actually, it doesn't matter where you are. Wherever you see this, you just drop your question into the chat, and I'll answer it. If it revolves around the music industry, it's gonna be a very obvious answer. But you can ask anything from education to life to whatever it is that you want. And the reason why I decided to do this is twofold. Number one, season 2 is coming to a close. I have 2 more streams to do, which is next Monday and next Wednesday. And then I'm going to go in summer break. And those will be shows number 177 and 178. And I never thought that I ever would do, I don't know, close to 180 shows. That is absolutely insane. When I first started streaming on Reddit and I held a phone to my face, I never thought for a minute that would become something that I would be doing for the 3rd year now. So I started in September 2020 on Twitch. Before that, I started on Reddit, which was, I think, like July 2020. And so I've been doing this for 2 seasons, 2 years now. I always take a summer break, July and August. And I will soon go into summer break, come back with season 3. I'm getting a delivery of white bread. There you go. Thank you very much. But I never thought that I was going to be the person who does this, I don't know, professionally for a living all the time. I have... Hey, Lottie, how you doing? I have no idea. So I got into this almost by chance. I think I heard of this thing, Reddit RPAN, and I figured people can do it. And so what I did in September 2020 was I was sitting in my studio as usual, and I was listening to demos. And people are always sending me demos. I'm always listening to them. And I was like super bored because, a lot of you might think it's very cool, but really you're getting thousands of these and you're listening to them. You're like clicky, 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 boring, annoying. I don't know. And so I figure, I'll just set up the phone behind me and people can watch me do stuff, And that was the early days of Reddit, RPAN. And I think the first time I did it, I had like 8,000 people watching me. And I was like, holy crap, so many people are interested on how this works. And then I found out that most people are just saying, what are you doing? What is it that you do? How are you doing that? I think this song is very good. I think this song is very bad. and then people were encouraging me to go on Twitch and other platforms and to make like something of a show of it. I don't know. And so I did. And 2 years later, I'm at recorded show 176 today, which is quite a lot. And before that, I had another 2 months. So I think that it's closer to actually being like 200. I'd have to count it, and we're gonna have to come to some official thing. But if you're going to Twitch stats and you're looking up, because that's the only place I can count it at, because I've always streamed to there, and I can't count my things on Reddit. I just don't know how to do it. So So that's where I counted it, and then it was like 176. In reality, it's probably closer to 180, 190, something like that. But it's really crazy that you would have that many shows, and that you would have people from the internets following you and listening to you for 2 years. And I have to say that I met hundreds of people, quite frankly, that came on my show for a while. Some people stayed. Some people became very engaged with the label. Some people, had something else to do with their life rather than to watch me do shit. And it was actually a crazy experience. I have to say that it was actually different than what I was thinking it was going to be. Because when you start, I don't know, when I started streaming, I didn't expect that anybody would be looking at me. Then I was expecting that more people would be looking at me, and and now I'm still weirded out that whenever I don't stream because I have a headache or I'm not feeling good, people like message me privately and say, "Hey, where are you? What's up? Why are you not streaming?" And so if it's Monday or Wednesday and it's 8:00 European time and I'm not on, I get like 4 messages from various people asking me hey, did you forget? You gotta turn on your stream, man. It's time for you to do the show. So I'm gonna do 2 more this season 2, and then every season in the summer, I kind of like drink beer and I swim and I think about what it is I can do better next season. So if you want to give me some tips on what to do better or what to change for next season, you're welcome to do that as well. I'll let you know if it's possible, because a lot of things are technically not really feasible. And a lot of things I can't do for legal reasons. There's a whole bunch of things that I wanted to do that I can't do for one or another reason. But I'm pretty sure there's interesting ideas out there that you would have or anybody might have. So aside from that, you're welcome to ask any question to me, the crazy guy on the microphone, and I'm gonna eat my feta. I imagined this stream today. Excellent. Being easy for me, because AMA is actually, I thought AMA was going to be easy. Because if nobody asks a question, I can just eat my feta. And then, no, cat, no, this is not for the cat. No, it's not for the cat. It's not for the cat. Go away. It's not cat food. Ringo is here. He's like, is that my cheese? Is that my cheese? He doesn't eat cheese and olive oil and bread or anything like that. He doesn't. But he's very interested. Keep eating it. Keep eating into the microphone, please. Yes, serious cheese. Okay. That's what the girls do. What's it called? ASMR, AMSR, Asmurti. People watch that shit. People watch girls eat shit. Why could I not eat my feta? I've been programming all day. It was horrible. It was a programming day today. Man, not good. Everything fucked up. Nothing worked. Record label boss ASMR. That's right. Yo-Yo's like, what the fuck? And Lottie like, yeah. So nothing worked today, which was extremely encouraging. But on the other hand, I got the finished version of our new music video that we're going to be putting out soon, as soon as I get around to releasing it. Song written by Mako Tomasovic, one of the great Croatian songwriters, produced by Sasha Valencic, 7-time song contest participant, sung by Mistina Soul, excellently talented singing woman, and cut by Mephisto from Ukraine, our video editor, who did another great job with very shitty footage. So you're going to be able to see this excellent music video very soon on Count Zero Records YouTube channel for free. That was a little bit Ivar. And Yo-Yo says he ate the toast with Ivar. Yes, Ivar is good. So that was a little bit of a positive thing today. I was like really happy because I saw the original footage and I was like, oh man. I was like, oh man, I'm so happy I don't have to cut this video. And Mephisto sent me, footage is really bad. Lots of shaky, not good. I was like, yeah, here I go. Of course, you know, when you have shaky footage, when you have difficult footage, it's always possible to turn it into a good video. It's just a whole lot more effort to do it. So you're making it harder for the cutter to make it right. Because I mean, you can do a lot of stuff in post processing. You can remove the shakiness. You can correct the colors. You can do all kinds of stuff. But you're making it progressively more hard for the cutter to make a great music video. If you were just to know how to shoot, and I cannot tell you how many times I actually get this very, very bad cell phone-like footage from artists. And they're like, yeah, my friend shot that with an iPhone 10 and it's great and he's such a good videographer. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. That's not really usable at all. That's difficult. But you know, with COVID and everything, we kind of like reliant on decentral video. Decentralized video. Excellent. So far, I haven't had a question. Maybe I should make like the title a little bit more inflammatory. One time I did like talk to a real life record label boss. And people were always coming in and be like, nah, that's not true. You're not a record label boss. You know, you can totally bait people. Just say something completely outrageous or stupid and they'll like come onto your show just to tell you that you're wrong. And you know, usually I don't do that. I'm so nice. I don't bait people. But it really works. No. Oh my God. He's walking around on the computer, and on top of the computer is the on and off button. So if he ever jumps on there, the entire studio is going to go off. Yeah. The wisdom of having your power button at the top of your computer is not very good when you have a cat. It's better that the power button is like inside with a door that you can close. I'm still eating. It's so good. So the cat can't turn it off. I mean, come on. How many professional TV stars do you know that say, oh, my man, my show turned itself off because the cat turned the computer off? Today's news at 11, the cat turned it off. First, very serious question. Why olive oil and not pumpkin seed oil with the feta? because in Greece, the feta is stored in olive oil to conserve it. It's made and ripened in brine, but it's actually stored in olive oil. So once it's essentially done making, they put it in olive oil to mature, because the olive oil essentially keeps out all the bacteria and makes sure that the cheese doesn't go bad. So traditionally, all the feta that you could have in Greece would come in barrels. And, farmers like my granddad would just have plastic barrels. Yay, yum, because it's cheaper. And in the plastic barrels, there will be like about 40 liters of olive oil, and then probably 30 liters of olive oil and 20 kilos of cheese. So classically, feta always comes in olive oil. Now, of course, nowadays modern dairies make it, and it's never stored in olive oil because they have refrigeration, etc. But the farmers that stored significant amounts of feta always had it in olive oil. It's the only way that they could keep it cool, keep it durable. They would just put it in a dark and cooler part of the house and store it there at room temperature, because the oil would essentially block. Hey, Dominic! Thank you for subscribing. You're an awesome dude. You should totally go check out Dominic Fritz and René Luengo, City Lights. Pretty cool song. And it's got 1 million plays. So pretty good people, these two. I had a lengthy chat with René and Dominic the other day about the future of music, the future of record labels, the future of being an artist, how to afford everything. It was very, very interesting. And we have a very interesting project coming up very soon, I hope. That's going to be a big thing. That's going to be really cool. I'm not going to elaborate and go into it, but I think that will be really cool. All right. So recently they changed the Reddit RPAN thing. And that gets me thinking, how the hell did you get into this stream? Because, I don't know. Oh yeah, that was so weird. In the beginning I started with Reddit. With RPAN. And I was always doing it on RPAN when it was RPAN day. But then also they started with the threads, and I did it on Reddit sessions. And then I did it on Reddit masterclass, and all of my streams were always removed from sessions because they said you're not playing an instrument, from masterclass because they said you're not teaching anything. And I was removed from so many different channels with my show because the show doesn't fit anything, because it's a show that talks about the music industry. It's a music industry talk show. And there just isn't a channel for that. So I had to go to like Distance Socializing and the U Show, which was the only place where the stream wasn't removed. And I found out that when you're doing content or you're doing stuff that is not what people really know well, then many times you have a really hard time as a streamer. I did one DJ stream and it was like 3 times the engagement that my talking streams have. And doing a DJ stream is actually pretty easy. I got everything set up here, my tractor, and so that's also something I learned in the last 2 years, that content that is, how can I say, a little bit more specific than like dancing or playing music or showing cats really has a hard time, because even though a lot of people say that they appreciate good content or they want specific content, etc., the more specific your content is, the more aggressively against it people are. I I have always been it's always been very interesting to me to analyze this up and down voting thing, you know. And I've barely ever made a stream where I had a lot of upvotes on Reddit. So most people really hate me streaming, which is peculiar because I'm not doing anything to anybody. And then I was thinking, they really don't like me. But then they're doing the same to Meg. And we're looking at the streams with a lot of upvotes, and it's usually people that look good. So the common denominator that I found is if you're 18 and you look good, you're gonna get a lot of upvotes on no matter which platform it is, no matter how intelligent people pretend to be. It's always very, or rather a little bit shallow, I would say. But of course, when you do niche content, then of course a whole lot less people are interested in that, because you know, among all the people, how many people are artists and would be interested in a music podcast, and even among the artists, most artists aren't really interested in how anything works, because they're mostly concerned with their creative output, and they don't really care about anything else. So I know that I'm making content for like 1% of humanity, probably closer to 0.1% of humanity that is interested. I should just really show cats. Hey, where's Ringo? I should just like follow Ringo around. I think for this particular stream, people on Reddit do not like you eating. Yeah, but I'm hungry. I haven't been working all afternoon. I haven't had anything to eat. So, yep. 176 shows so far. That's a lot. That's more. Ooh. Good thing we'll wash that. I talked to quite a lot of artists about streaming, and they were asking me, why am I successful on streaming? And I said, am I? I really don't have a huge following or anything like that. And they say, yeah, but you have a bigger following than we do. And I say it comes down to persistence, really, and always being on time and always streaming. I used to do 3 to 4 times a week. That's a little bit much. I'm now doing 2 times. That's okay. But with 2 times, you're not really growing. I did notice that since I started streaming 2 times a week, I'm pretty much evening out in viewers, because you have to understand that you're always losing a lot of viewers, because people like your stream for a while and then they watch something else. So the formula to me seems to be that if you stream twice a week, about 2 hours, you're essentially staying on the same amount of people, because some people leave, some people come, and that's it. And while I was doing 3 times, I was growing. And while I was doing 4 to 5 times, I was really growing. So I can definitely tell you that if you want to aggressively grow as a streamer, you essentially have to stream all the time. If you can somehow do it to where you're filming yourself all the goddamn time and then talking to people, then go ahead and do that. That is going to be your ticket to success. If you can't do that, then you need to have a schedule. And Scotty says, "Where's my duck dinner?" Wow, that was a time. And we had duck dinner for Avio. You know what, Scotty? Since COVID is over, and we have a Chinese restaurant about 10 minutes away from here, and they have a lunch buffet. We can go and do all you can eat duck. And I did that the other day. And I ate like 3 plates of duck. So I just didn't do it on the stream, but they're also delivering now because, they used to be closed during COVID. Everything was kind of like not working, but our Chinese restaurant is working again, and you can order from them, and you can order crispy duck, or you can go there and eat crispy duck. So you need to come to us here, and then we're gonna go and eat all you can eat duck thing. I hope they have it every day. I don't know. The one time I went, they had it. Yeah, and Meg says, yeah, when we had lunch buffet, I asked, where's the dessert? He said, no dessert, and then I saw it on the way out. Yeah, she was very disappointed. Because she wanted to eat some of the dessert buffet, and I was like, dessert buffet? What are you talking about? Because I don't eat dessert on the lunch, If I go to a Chinese buffet, I'm not going to eat fucking, I don't know, vanilla ice cream. I'm usually just eating the Chinese, So yeah, the duck dinner is gonna happen when Scotty comes on the show, or we could make it to where Scotty comes on the show, then we order duck, and then we turn the camera around and we can sit on the table and film. That would be good. And we need the arbitrator also. We can do some fried chicken. Very, very interesting. Okay, so 176 times streaming. And of course, a huge change in technical. I started with the phone. I think the phone that I used was a Samsung S6 because I didn't need it anymore. And it was just sitting around doing nothing. So I hooked it up on some kind of stand and used the Samsung S6 to do my streams. And of course, now we have quite the different equipment. We constructed a little studio downstairs here with 8 studio lights, with a Blackmagic Cinema Pro 6K camera. Really nice camera. A bunch of great lenses. Currently got the 38 in, I think. Nope, 10 to 22 wide. Yeah, that's right. I think it's set to 18. That's a great lens too, by the way. 10 to 22 EFS lens. That's the good thing about the BMPCC. You can use EFS lenses, and they're much cheaper, and and they work, because because Blackmagic uses a a smaller 6K sensor. If you're interested in videography, that is. If not, then you just forget what you just heard. And so we upgraded, and we got a really nice studio here where you can do a lot of stuff. It's really good. I'm happy with it. And in the beginning, oh yeah, man, I was sitting in that studio upstairs, the audio studio, and I had all the lights there because when I was filming normally, it was just too fucking dark. So I put up all the lights there, and there's the big, mixer in there and other equipment. So it's always, got a good heat. And then when you turned on these lights, I was like, whoa. And for the first season and a half or something, I was sweating extremely strongly during the entire show. I had like washcloths like to the side of me to where I could like wipe my face off because it was like streaming down because it was so hot. Because the audio studio is actually pretty small. It's actually just made for 2 or 3 people to work in. And with all the lights, it just heated up like crazy, and it does not have AC. So I put in a mobile AC, and then I found out I can't turn on the mobile AC because it's so freaking loud that you can't stream then. So I was sitting in there profusely sweating and having a very bad time doing it until we came down here, and here the room is obviously a lot bigger. We have better ventilation, and now we're not sweating anymore. It was there was a big upgrade, and of course we got the green screen behind us now, where we can put things. What is that? I like that. I'm gonna keep that up. I found that yesterday. It was funny. I thought it was funny. Hold on, what was that? Oh, that's the flag. Yeah, still got a lot of cool things there. Excellent. So that was the process. The process of the process of progress. And now I'm still not famous. Now people are like, yeah, I have thousands of followers. But I have to say that in terms of what we really do, in terms of attracting musicians, we're fine. We have so many people sending us stuff. It's actually far more than we could ever sign. And I think generally, the interest of people on a record label is actually kind of low. I think I talked with it about Dominic the other day. Because, people are always like, yeah, how many people are following your label? If you look at other label accounts, how many people follow them? I mean, just ask yourself, are you following Sony or Universal on Instagram? I don't think so. I don't think anybody follows Sony music, because other than if you're in the industry, because why would you do that? If you're interested in a specific artist, you'll follow that artist. If you're interested in a specific type of music, you'll maybe follow that subreddit or something like that. But the other record labels that I see have a lot less followers than we have. We're actually, comparatively to our size, we actually have a fairly decent following. We have I'd say we have like a 500,000 followers across various platforms as the label, which to me is a lot. And in that, but I also looked at other labels of our size, and they have like the label channel, which nobody follows, and then they have like various TV shows or various artists and stuff, and this is generally where the people are on. And this is what I'm trying to tell people, because people are always like, yeah, you gotta make the people from your channel come to my channel. I'm like, yeah, and how is that gonna happen? And they're like, yeah, you need to post stuff about me. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to post? They're like, oh no, do advertisement for us. I'm like, yeah. Like what? The point I'm getting to is that a label can only advertise its artists if the artists are actually sending us some kind of content. And we have a lot of people who don't want to give us content because they feel it should be on their channel only. It should be exclusive and they should be working their own channel and they don't want to share anything with me. And I say, okay, then I don't have anything to make people go to your channel because I'm in a different country. How am I going to post a picture of you if you don't send it to me first? You know, it's super obvious, isn't it? And so many times we get stuff like months later or not at all, you know, because people are like, yeah, just keep posting the link to my album. I'm like, dude, do you seriously think anybody's gonna fanatically click album cover posts? This is not what has high engagement, you know. But there's a lot of interesting things going on in marketing and advertisement. I think that the way that people generally believe how it works and how it really does work is quite different. So far, we had one question so far. It was Yo-Yo with the feta. That was. I got new drinking bottles. I got these new drinking bottles. They're 2 liter. Got 2 of them. And they say, hydrate. I don't think it's some kind of like Chinese. Ooh. Excellent. And with these, I have 2 liters, 2 liters in the studio downstairs and 2 liters in the studio upstairs. And this way I'm always reminded to drink more water because it's healthy. All right. Should I play some music? Doodle doodle doo. I'm gonna play. Maybe I can play a funny video. Funny video. I have funny videos. Oh no, I can't show that. That's not released yet. Oh, I could put this in, huh? Is that good? Moment. Da 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 da. Signals show. I always gotta be careful with what I show on the what I show on the show because half of this stuff isn't released yet, and it's always like a bit of a problem. Oops, I'm gone. There you go. Loopy. Loop. Okay, see? That's... La, la, la. It's time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Oh, that's a pretty... that needs to be a back and forth loop. That doesn't work well. Because it just jumps like... Does it not? You can slow down the speed. Oh, maybe. Do. Oh yeah, that's too slow. No, it's like Chaggy. Interesting. What all things we can do here in the studio is that not great? All right, guys, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. You have 2, 4, 5 more hours this season to ask your questions. And then I'm off to summer. And then I'm gonna be from. Hold on, let me just make that official. I'm gonna do one on Monday the 27th and one on Monday the 29th, and then I'm off because the next one will be on the 6th, and that's already July. So July and August I'll be taking off, and I will be back on Monday the 5th of September with season 3 of Record Label Boss. I'm still contemplating, by the way, not calling it Record Label Boss anymore because people were just fucking confused about it. Maybe I'll call it Avio's Music. I don't know. Whatever, whatnot. So, but then I'll talk with some friends about how to put some new life into the show. Nah. Hey, Vinny. Oh my God. No, it's just about the name. It's not the thing, but I'll most likely keep it anyway. But I have the problem that I have, Count Zero Records, Record Label Boss, and Avio, and these usernames and channels are mixed in a fairly horrible way that is bad for branding. And in the beginning, I thought, and this was actually wrong, to make your own brand for something specifically, make the own channels for this, make the own channels for that. And this is generally what a lot of people suggest to you in social media, to keep the brands apart, to have your own Avio stuff, to have your own Record Label Boss stuff, to have your own Count Zero Record stuff, which generally is true if you have unlimited resources. If you have like a media team of like 3 people that do nothing else but to service all these channels, then you can definitely do that. And it's probably really cool because then you're going to have 6 social media channels for Record Label Boss, 6 for Avio, and 6 for Count Zero Records. Count Zero Records has more. And then everything is separated. And now all you have to do is to keep 20 social media channels tidy and post daily on them, And it's another one of these complete bullshit advice things that people always say to you, yeah, and for the very specific this show, only put this, and for the very specific that show, put only that. Your enemy in the beginning is actually the grind. It's the time. You're doing everything by yourself. Don't make it unnecessarily harder on yourself by making a whole lot of channels that need to be serviced for no good reason other than I won. Oh my God, I won 10 Discord Nitro. All I have to do is click on this link. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so Oh, these scams never stop. So generally, if you're a new artist, I would advise you to start with fewer channels. Think about what it is that you want to do, and then don't necessarily start with a million different channels. In the beginning, I had everything very concentrated. That worked really well, and then I wanted to grow more, various resources. And I did what people said, and I started to kind of like branch out the channels, and it actually didn't work at all. It actually made things worse because it separated people into channels. Because when you only have 1 or 2 or 3 channels, people kind of like know that these are your channels, and then they come there, and then everything is more together. And as soon as you start splitting up stuff and you have like a Facebook page, you have Instagram, you're working on Spotify playlists, you have a YouTube channel, blah, 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 whatnot, then you'll have like 3 people that are YouTube fans that are always on YouTube. Then you have like 4 people who only listen to Spotify. Then you have 3 people who are only on Facebook because they're over 60. And then you have some Instagram people that are only on Instagram. And all of a sudden you're faced with the situation that the people that kind of like begrudgingly before went to your channel to watch your stuff, you now have to post to them in 10 different channels. And when you then want to minimize that again, and this is what we did earlier, just 2 months ago, we started focusing a lot on Discord. And we said, okay, we're going to have customer support on Discord. We're going to have video calls on Discord. We're going to have audio calls on Discord. We're going to have chatting. We're going to have artist community, all the kind of stuff that we had spread out over various channels. We had the problem that a lot of people just didn't follow because they say, okay, Facebook is my platform, Instagram is my platform, whatnot. And I still have artists messaging me on Facebook Messenger, even though I haven't checked that in 3 months. And that was after we have been announcing that we're going to go to Discord for over 7 months now. That we're going to close the various Facebook forums, etc. But there's a lot of people who just, for some reason, ignore where you are and just use whatever it is that they want to use to contact you. So we have this very interesting situation, and maybe that's a little bit of an insight, to where some artists just aren't communicating with us at all anymore because we're not on the messaging service that they prefer. The problem is you have WhatsApp, you have Viber, you have Facebook Messenger, you have Telegram, you have Signal, you have, SMS, phone calls. You have like a million channels in order to get to people. And if people insist that they only want to talk to you on the channel they prefer most, things get difficult. And for some reason, people would rather not talk to us than to change messengers. So we have a lot of people who aren't really interacting with the label anymore, and thereby torpedoing their own career quite significantly because they're too lazy to communicate on the channel that we are all on. And I had never thought that would happen. Never in a million years would I ruin my own career because I'm unwilling to install another messenger app that the label says, okay, that's going to be our thing. But that shows you a lot how flexible people are. People would rather have less success than to change what they're currently using. It's really interesting. You learn a lot about people. When you work with musicians, when you work with artists, you learn a lot about people, and what you learn is that a lot of them are very opinionated, or they're very particular. They're very particular. They want things how they want it. I have a wonderful colleague who can sing really, really great, and she's very particular on how to stream, in that she streams whenever she wants to. So she's a streamer that doesn't have a schedule, I think. And it's just sometimes when she feels like it, she starts streaming. And of course, it's very, very difficult to get an audience if you have no schedule, because people don't know when you're coming on. You can't expect people to sit with their phones in their hands waiting for Bing. Such and such has just come online and is streaming now. So what makes me different coming from a corporate environment is that in corporate, you do everything you can to further your career. There's no question if you're going to do that or that. If it furthers your career, you're going to do it. If you have to get up 10 minutes earlier, you do it. If you have to, I don't know, learn about this, do this weird job, do that weird job, you're going to do it. And in art, people choose to be less successful because certain things bother them. But at the same time, they complain about not being successful enough. And are asking themselves, why am I not getting ahead? And the best thing that I can say after 4 years, the reason why you're not getting ahead is because you're not putting in the hours. Number one, you're not putting in the hours. And number two, you're not doing it right. But they both come back to the same factor, and that is being extremely particular. Not putting in the hours means I don't feel like it. I don't want to do something that feels like work. I don't want to go on social media again. I don't want to, do this, do that. So there's the preference of having it easy. Huge problem. And then the second thing is the preference of being right. I see a lot of people, especially in the artistic community, that really like to be right. And that know a lot about everything, and they will tell you so. And they will continuously do things that they essentially themselves have proven don't work, because they are convinced eventually they're going to work. And then when you say to them, you've been doing this for a year, and I don't know, it's not really working, why don't you try something else? They're like, no, we're going to try it some more because, we believe that we have 300 plays and you have 30,000 plays, but we know marketing and you don't. So the preference of being right. And these two preferences are killer. And they're almost in every artist, including me. Because artists are fiercely independent and creative, and they hate doing boring stuff. And they've usually spent their entire career being by themselves, as other people are telling them that they're idiots for pursuing an artistic career or doing something like that. So they learned to rely very much on their own judgment. But this is also what kind of like bites them in the ass a little bit when they're working together. Because internationally, you're not going to be successful unless you're extremely hustling. This kind of like commitment of like 3 to 4 hours every week to your career is not going to get you anywhere. Absolutely, you're going to go nowhere. If you're not putting in 10 hours every day, you're not going to be anybody anywhere. In any capacity. And if you're not getting around great people that really know what's up and do what they advise you to do, you're also not going to go anywhere. And those two things are things that artists generally don't want to do. I think that's what humans don't want to do it, but artists, like these independent-minded creative people, even less. And to the contrary, the people that I know that are really successful are the people that really, really, really hustle lots of hours, and that really, really do not care what makes them successful. They just do what makes them successful. They're just people that try everything, and whatever works, they double down on. And if it doesn't work, they try something else. Some months ago, I had a talk with Marko, my friend and producer from Croatia. And he told me about this young Croatian artist. I think she was Croatian. And he was really, really impressed with her because she was able to get on radio. She was able to get on like a certain amount of festivals with bookings and all kinds of stuff. And I said, yeah, that's really good. And he said to me, do you know how she did that? And I said, no, you're going to tell me. And he said, she did it all by herself. I'm like, really? She was like an 18-year-old girl, did it. And he's like, yeah, she just fucking called everybody. She called everybody. She went everywhere. She introduced herself everywhere. And she just solo hustled herself into shit. And he said, this is the musicians that you want to work with. The people that know what it takes to be successful and that are willing to do it. And these are like 1 out of 100. Most people are like really comfortable. They're like, yeah, let's do a little bit of work today, maybe an hour, maybe 2, and then let's mostly do what we believe is right. So if I do like 1 feel-good hour every day of work, and only the work that I really like, and then I'm gonna call somebody else and ask them why I'm not famous yet, you know? I know it's a controversial topic. Whenever I like to watch for example, the Reddit viewership numbers, which are usually a great indicator of what, if people like what you're saying. And whenever I'm saying things that are critical to artists, my viewership goes down. And whenever I say things that are critical towards companies, my viewership generally goes up. But the point is that if you're truthful, you will hardly find a situation in life where things are just squarely one person's fault, or not even fault. The question how to become successful isn't really a question of fault. Who's at fault, you know? The point is that the person who calls 10 radio stations and 10 festivals every day will just be more successful than the person who calls 0 radio stations and 0 festivals every day. And what had happened this last year was that it turned out, you know, the industry is changing and artists are going to take over more by themselves. So I think that is going to play even more of a role, as I think a lot of indie labels are really taking a step back and saying, you know, oh, the cat, and saying, look, these and these things from now on, you're going to have to do them yourself, because there's just not enough. There's just not enough dough to go around for us to baby you through all of these things. And no, don't climb on the light. It's falling off. If it falls over, it's gonna kill the cat. No. So yeah, that. And then of course the most controversial topic, I usually never talk about it. I'm going to talk about it briefly, is when, and it does happen when artists try to scam you. I usually don't talk about it because people generally don't believe you. But there's more than, oh, there's a little cat paw. But there's more than one person that I had contact with over the time to try to hustle me. And I would say but a good number of people, and a significant amount of them were artists. People that believed that they could play the record label into, it's usually always the same, giving them money very early in the contract and then kind of like running off with the money. It seems to be that there's a bunch of people who are kind of like specialized or think that they're going to get away with kind of like buttering you up and then saying, you know, blah, this, blah. And it's always like, send me the money. It's never buy a campaign for us, do advertisement for us. It's always like, send us money. So you'll find people who are asking you to send them money. I had business partners do that. I had managers do that. I had artists do that. So there was, I would say, in these 4 years, there was at least 10 people who were trying to pull a scam on me and try to get money from me just to kind of like run off with it. And the way that artists usually do it is that they then turn it around and say to their friends that the label was trying to fleece them or something. I have never seen them not play the victim, which was very curious to me because we're an indie label. Everybody is an artist. We're literally the same as them. And they have absolutely no shame in trying to fleece their fellow indie artists that just got together and made a label. A lot of artists out there have no shame, and they will take any money from you that you can, and then they will run away with it. But the most elaborate scam was actually from a manager who I had to fire. One of the people I had to fire, that was running the scam. I'm going to get you signed to the label if you pay me. He would say that to artists. And he would say to me, I'm going to get the artist signed if you pay them something. So he was trying to get a payday from both the artists and me. And we've always had the policy, we don't pay for signings, you know. If you want to work with us, you work with us, but we're not bribing you to signing with us. I mean, what the fuck? And I had the situation to where he was trying to do everything he possibly could, and to get money from me, and just give us 10,000, just give us 20,000, just give us 30,000, and then we can, you know, get the rights to the catalog from that person, you know. And I had quite a few phone calls with people that were, I would say, significant artists in their day, and they made various offers of what their catalog would be worth. And I said, nope, I'm not paying anything. I never said I was going to pay anything. I'm not going to pay you anything. It's not how it works. If you want us to take over your catalog and work it for you, you can keep it. We'll work it, and we'll take some percentage of the stuff that we get. If you want to sell the catalog, we can talk about that as well. But we're not paying you to get signed. And I have to say that every time people ask me for money, it was good that I didn't pay. Because every time it turned out that they wanted to do nothing else but to run away. So, but the manager, I think that was the most devious. And that is generally what a lot of managers try to do. I found out, wow, by the way, the hard way, that probably managers are the most scammy people out there. Because all the people that were professional managers, not the people that were like amateur managers. I met a lot of people that were like amateur managers that were doing it to help their friends who have a band, and they're like a bookkeeper or some kind of paralegal or whatnot, and they're trying to help. They're generally good people. They don't know what's up, but they're good people. But the people that are managers by profession, almost to the point, were always looking for a bribe. I have almost, I would say 9 out of 10 managers I've met approach you, and the only thing that they're interested in is how much they're going to get paid if they sign their artist to your label. They're super not interested in how the artist is going to progress or how their career is going to turn out, what the benefit for the artist is, anything like that. They're only interested about the payday. I never once, never in 4 years did I have a talk with a manager that talked to me about conditions, how to best help their artists. What it was always like was, how much are you going to pay? How much are you going to pay me? You're going to not need to tell the artist. And if you pay me X amount of money, I'm going to tell him to sign. And if you don't pay me, I'm going to tell him that the offer was horrible. And if you pay me a lot, I'll put the artist in a contract with you that is very much to your favor. So they were willing to completely sell out and enslave the people that they were representing on a daily basis. So that was also very shocking / surprising for me to see that there is a profession that has so many black sheep in it. It was quite crazy. Managers. Then, of course, artists. I was disappointed. Usually it's like, yeah, you didn't give us any money, so we don't want to be with you anymore. And I said, nobody ever said you're going to get money. Yeah, we were hoping we were going to get some money. You know? So, and some people flat out told me that they were gonna take money from me, but since I didn't give them any money, and I'm a foreigner, they have no intention of upholding their end of the contract, and they don't care. And I said, yeah, it's okay. I don't care either. If you ever make money with music, I'm gonna come and sue you and take all of your money. But more than likely, you're not going to be successful anyway. And it's extremely disappointing when you're trying to be really nice and do the best thing for people, and then a significant amount of them turn out to be, I don't know, frauds, acts. I don't know. It's weird. But at the end of the day, a lot of people just don't know any better. But that was surprising. Random says cool. I don't know. I think I believed what I knew to be. I think I believed what the media was saying before I started working in the thing myself. And another thing that surprised me was the amount of money that's needed for anything. Anything. Jesus Christ. You literally have to bribe everybody for everything. There is nothing that gets done in the music industry without you paying off. And then conversely, officially, everybody's saying, no, we would never take money. But unofficially, it only works with money. This industry is like, I don't know. I think corruption is the business model. And I don't think it's corruption because you're dealing with exposure. You're dealing with advertisement. You can literally not get anything done without paying people. You can, if you have the personal connections, if you have, and this is what we're trying to establish, some kind of rapport with radio stations. If you don't send them stuff often, but send them the right stuff, you can kind of like keep building your network, and keep doing that. But mostly, if you don't have that, or you don't have time to do that, which a lot of indie artists don't, and generally organizations don't want to deal with artists as individuals because there's just too many of them sending them stuff, then it's really difficult, and the only thing you can do is pay. And I also did not know that, I found out that like 95% of all like promotion providers are fraudulent. Yesterday I spent time reading about Taboola native ads, And of course, you don't go into a musician forum because they have no idea what the fuck that is. Just go to the PPC forum and on Reddit, or any affiliate marketing forum on Reddit, and ask them what they think of Taboola. And people will be like, "Fuck that," you know. And a lot of the advertisers that I worked with, I found to be extremely expensive, completely useless, and essentially just elaborate frauds that trick people into advertising with them when their advertisement is actually completely ineffective. And to my surprise, when you ask people who are real PPC pay-per-click experts on where you should advertise, they'll tell you to do Google ads, maybe Facebook, and then genre-specific niche advertisers, which is kind of like what I had anticipated first. So then you have to find out which the niche advertisers are that work. That will take you like thousands of dollars to fight, because you're gonna pay $100 here, $100 there, $100 here, $100 there for somebody to advertise your stuff, and then you'll find out that you just completely wasted these 100 because nothing has been done. And then sometimes you spend $100 and you get like an insane amount of traffic, and you're like, oh my god, we got a good one. And then you double down on those, and generally people don't want to talk about who the really good advertisers are. And I understand why, because I had to spend a lot of money to find out who the advertisers are that really work and who the ones are that don't work. So generally, every advertiser that advertises itself doesn't work. So anything that you find on Google Ads, like they're doing ads for themselves, they don't work. The advertisers that work really great don't make advertisement for themselves because they're always full. I recently started working with an advertiser, and they're actually excellent. And all of their placements are always taken, and there's much more people than they have placements. And once that changes, they'll start advertising their services, but at this point, they'll no longer be effective. They're only effective in that stage where they're right now, where your ads are selling like hotcakes because your site is working really well. So the hunt for qualified traffic is a huge one. And a lot of people don't know that. They think that advertisement for $10 is advertisement for $10, and it doesn't matter. It's not that at all. Like at all. Good traffic, good advertisement is really hard to come by, and crappy one is being shoved down your throat on every turn. I mean, anything that people, send you, advertise with us, do Spotify, whatnot, blah. Forget about that. You know why? Because everybody else gets that too. And the reason why they're aggressively advertising their advertisement services is because they're not working. If you have 10 apples and they're sold within a minute, you don't need to advertise them. The only reason why you need to advertise your 10 apples is because no one's buying them. So when you see somebody like SEMrush who is aggressively advertising themselves, you know this shit doesn't work. Just anything that you always see, anything Neil Patel, anything Spotify, anything that is always in your face and, hey, advertise with us, Clixies, Taboola, whatnot. If you see an advertiser that has to advertise themselves because they're not working, what does that tell you about them as advertisers? That they don't have qualified traffic. Qualified traffic is traffic. It's people that are actual people, number one, that are willing to come to your site and engage and buy products, listen to music, etc. And it's all about the qualified traffic. So the only reason why these advertisers would need to massively advertise is because they don't have qualified traffic. And an advertiser that doesn't have qualified traffic, you should never work with, because there's nothing you can gain from them because they don't have qualified traffic. And then the question is, who has qualified traffic? Well, think of it yourself. Where do you go all the time? And where do you click on ads? Have you ever clicked on an Instagram ad? Have you ever clicked on a Spotify ad? How many Spotify ads have you clicked in the last year? How many YouTube ads have you clicked in the last year? How many this, that, whatnot? And then, of course, a big thing nowadays is placements. You know, it's kind of like product placement. It's like a gray area to where you're not like advertising your stuff, but you're kind of like paying for your stuff to be on a website. Because kind of like just be there. It's kind of like product placement, just digitally. So you'd go to some search engine for whatnot. Search the nicest fish. And there would be a little icon, fish music. You know, no ad, nothing asking you to go, etc. It would just be there, fish music, you know? And then you could measure, every 1,000th person would be like, hey, fish music, what's that? Fish music, you know? I'm going to click it. And that's kind of like what placement is, and placement currently is actually pretty hot because people are really annoyed with ads. People don't want to see any more ads. Hey, buy this. Hey, buy this. Click, click, click. Hey, buy this. You know, it's too aggressive. People don't like that. Placements kind of like pretend to be not ads. They're just there, and they actually work pretty well. They're very unintrusive. They're just kind of like there near the traffic that you usually create. So you go there and there's a link to something that might interest you. And placements generally work really well. Also, you know, Google is the world's largest advertisement company. With Google, the problem is just their interface is really difficult. So if you're not doing Google ads for like months, you won't be able to make an effective campaign. And I think to a certain degree it's calculated, because you're gonna have to spend like at least $1,000 before you get a feeling for how Google ads work. And also, don't talk to a Google Ads representative or Facebook Ads representative, because these people, all they do is sell ads. They really have no idea how to make effective ads. They just whatever you ask them, they're only answer is going to be, if you want to reach that goal, you're going to have to spend more money. You know, we think that $5,000 a month is a very good starting point, and you can then ramp it up to $50,000. You know, like, dude, if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be doing penny ads with you fuckers. You know, hey, but so generally, I found it to be extremely difficult to find advice in the advertisement industry. And I think that the Reddit forums where advertisers are talking to each other are actually the most insightful ones, because they're kind of like talking about what they should do and where they should buy something. And if you're checking into that conversation, you usually get a bunch of useful tips, because you always want to go to the information sources where the people are that are on the other side of the game. You know, you never go to a forum where musicians talk about promoting music. You have never heard so much bullshit as in a forum where musicians are talking about how to promote music. Go to a forum where affiliate marketers, PPC marketers, or marketing agencies are talking about promoting music. Because those people know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So go to where the people that know what they're doing. So I found it actually very interesting, and I did that myself, and now I'm thinking to myself, I'm so fucking stupid. Because musicians kind of like tend to gravitate to these like musician forums, you know? Oh, here's a musician forum for that, here's a musician forum for that. And you can like exchange views, and people can and you can, oh yeah, I did this campaign that worked so well, I did this campaign that worked so well. But think about it. These are all customers. Do you want to talk to other customers as the people that are consulting you? Or do you want to talk to the sellers or listen to the sellers talk about stuff? Yeah? So if you want to buy a car, do you want to talk to one of the engineers that designed the car about it? Or do you want to talk to Aunt Greta, who's also in the car shop at the same time as you? And who will be able to give you more information about that car? Who's going to give you more insight? One of the engineers who designed the car, or Aunt Greta, who's in the car buyers forum? Don't go to the buyers forums. Go to the sellers forums. That was like one of my greatest tips ever. Go to the sellers forum. Never go to the buyers forum. Go to the forum of the other side. Wherever you sit as an artist, somebody's sitting across from you. If you are an artist, you want to sign to a label, don't go to an artist forum and ask them about label contracts. Go to a label forum and read there. If you want to buy advertisement, go to a forum where advertisers are, not where musicians talk about advertisement. You know what I mean? Always go to the sellers forum, to the sellers information. Get that information, get that forum, and you're going to be able to find out a lot more, because these guys talk among themselves as well. They usually don't have a problem sharing their information. Because they're usually not the ones benefiting from this mass market deception that big companies do, you know. The guys that you'll find in an advertiser's forum are usually like freelancers or people who have their own marketing agency. You're not going to find the head of Google or Daniel Ek from Spotify in there talking about how Spotify sells ads. You know what I mean? So these people have no problem giving you decent information, because it's not a negative for them to be honest about it, to talk about it. So that was surprising to me. So in a lot of sense, I learned many things that people don't know. And then after 4 years, you go that road, and then people don't understand you anymore, because people are still at the time at that place where they go to the musicians forum, where they read all the other musicians saying that you should do this, which you know now after 4 years doesn't work. But they're all very insistent on telling you that it really does work, because all of their buddies in the musicians forum tell you this. So as you get progressively more knowledgeable about the sector, you find yourself being able to connect better with producers, label people, promoters, etc. Everybody in the music industry. I've had the greatest talks with people from the industry, and they're usually very happy to talk somebody else from the industry, because they're usually surrounded with people that are not from the industry, and they have to justify what they do, how they do it, and why they do it to these people that have no idea all of the time. So when I talk to people like Mako, who's very insightful about production and songwriting, or Anna Boric, who is really great in promotion, you immediately find out that you have the same talking points. And you're like, yeah, oh my God, you know this? And they're like, oh my God, you know this? And then you're like, and you're so happy that you're finding somebody who knows this, and then you talk to them, and they're like, yeah, usually, this is what it is for us, our artists, blah, blah, blah. And then you find out that they're kind of like in the same boat as you. Surprisingly, another surprise, it's going to be the show of surprises. There's very few professionals in the music industry. And I know what I'm saying now, it sounds really weird. But compared, potato chips, compared to the 5.5 million releasing artists, there's not 5.5 million people working in the music industry. So for every artist out there, there's like 1/100th of a person working in the industry. So for I don't know the exact number, but you have 5.5 million releasing artists, and maybe 500,000 or less people actually working in the industry. And these people have hugely different worlds of experience, where the people that have been in the industry usually stay there. They're usually been there for decades. Those are usually people who have a lot of experience. And then you have the artists who usually 1 to 3 years into it, by the third year they usually give up. Over 75% of all musicians give up before the third year. So the pool of musicians is generally mostly made up of people that are about to give up. That are frustrated because nothing is working, and they all have the same opinion. It's the opinion that you have after, 2 years of halfway getting interested in the music industry. And everybody can tell who a person like that is 50 miles against the wind because of the statements that they make. So you have a lot of artists, but you don't have a lot of industry people. And when you meet them, you're like really happy because now you can talk sense with people, and people will talk sense back. And then you can enjoy being ignored and belittled by the majority for the rest of the time. By the way, same thing happens here on Reddit. Many, many times I've seen people with extremely insightful stuff, usually people that have been working in the industry for 10, 20, 30 years, posting something just to be shouted down by a gang of 21-year-old independent artists that just bought their first microphone and are telling these people how it works, how things work. And it's the repetition of the real world thing there. Really interesting. So I had expected to meet a lot more experts, but this rift, thunder, this rift between artists and music industry people is a thing. A lot of music industry people are also artists, but the industry is almost like split in two. Like there's like 5.5 million kind of like sheep, and then there's this tiny amount of people who are all pretty good because they've been doing nothing else for their entire life for some reason, And then you're thinking to yourself, wow, how can there be such a disparity between this majority of not so crafty people and these people, and this majority is like really not listening to these people, and you're like, wow. And it's because they don't say what they want to hear. The 5.5 million want to hear that they are going to be famous within a year and a half. the general expectations that people tell me that are new to the industry is that they should be, that they should make it in the next 1 to 2 years. And generally that's not possible at all. I've never seen anybody do that. Even the people where they're like, yeah, Justin Bieber was discovered. He was singing fucking longer than 2 years by the time he was discovered. And he was extremely lucky that happened. But he wasn't singing for a year. He wasn't singing for 1.5 years. This kid was singing since he was like tiny. So I think that the industry is going to go in more than ever. It's going to be an industry of professionals, professional artists, music industry professionals, and kind of like a whole industry of amateurs, a whole new cast of people enabled by the digital transformation. They now can be artists too. And these amateur artists, it's kind of like in the ski industry or in any kind of sports industry. They're not the people that play basketball and score a lot of points. They're the people that buy the shoes. And these shoe buying artists are going to be the majority of artists for the decades to come. And they will be paying their way through the music industry, and they will be buying Air Jordans for outrageous amounts of money, and they will never play in the NBA. So you'll have this like crowd of like NBA people, like the real players, the coaches, the managers, kind of like in the music industry as well. And then you'll have this very, very large amount of people who are like amateur musicians that kind of like dabble and do a little bit here, a little bit there. Maybe they're a little bit creative, maybe they're a little bit good, maybe not. They're gonna buy some expensive stuff because somebody tells them if you buy this expensive stuff you'll be better. They'll be buying some advertisements, some services, but generally they'll be the people that aspire to become NBA players by buying overpriced goods that nobody in their right mind would use. So I'm thinking of the music industry more as like the sports industry, because it was so hard to get into before. In the 70s, it was really difficult because you needed all that equipment. You needed the studio. You needed so many things. But now it's like sports. You need nothing. You just go out on the court and you start playing basketball. You start playing soccer. It doesn't take a lot of money. Everybody can participate. And this is what the music industry is now. Everybody can participate. And 99.99999% are never going to make any money doing that. Oh, I have a question and I didn't read it. Oh, man. Davidis Ridic. Hello, I'm new to this channel. I hate to ask this question because it might be a dumb question, lol, but is this where we submit our demo to be reviewed? I apologize for asking. Oh, man. Okay. Yes. If you want to, you can go here to countzerorecords.com/Discord. We have a room there. It's called Music Promotion. And then there's another room which is called Demo Review. One room you can post when you're level 1. Other room you can post when you're level 4. We also have some information on there about our service, demosubmission.com, and this is how you can submit demos to us. It's best to do it on the Discord server, and to once you're chat level 4, which requires you to, I don't know, send 10 messages or something. It's not really difficult to put your music in there. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will review it, and then we will check out your demo. So that's that. Yeah. And demos. I never thought that but of course, I didn't think about it. 5.5 million people that dabble, that buy Air Jordans, and they all want to place their demo somewhere because they want to show what they made. But they all have one problem. What they made is mediocre at the best. I've never seen such masses of mediocre music. And there's nothing to say to these people other than, keep trying. You're just not good enough. And the very few people that are really good usually are very cautious about working with anybody, because usually they've already been cheated once or twice, and it's a little bit more difficult to talk to them. So in the past, I've had, how can I say? I had two approaches. Work with good people and make them excellent, and then I changed to work with excellent people if they want to work with you. So in the beginning, when we were looking to sign a little bit more people, we put the bar a little bit lower. Thank you so much you're very welcome. If you're not on our Discord server, then go there and you can talk with us after the show. It's the best way to connect with us. It's free. You can put all of your demos in there, and we'll have a look at them. Because, and here's another thing. If you're paying to get your demo submitted, somebody's fucking you, okay? Most likely. Why? Because actual labels are interested in hearing good music. Actual labels are also not interested in hearing crappy music. And this is why these review sites like SubmitHub and Groover, etc., always have a little bit of a problem with the actual record label, because the record labels will decline 99.9% of the submissions because they're not good enough. And they will tell them, you're not good enough. And this is what the review sites don't want. This is why we always get kind of like feedback from the review sites. Hey, you're declining too much. You're not nice enough. Because what the review sites do, in case you've ever used one of them, is they try to make you pay for good reviews. This is essentially what it is. It's a feel-good service to where people say you're promoting your music. You're not. Everybody that's on there, like 99% of the people that are on there, have no ability to promote your music whatsoever. And they will give you feedback. 99.9% of the people that are on there will not give you feedback because they have no idea what they're doing. But you're going to pay for the illusion you're promoting your music and you're getting feedback. And quite funnily, the only people that always have problems on these review sites are people that are actually from the music industry, because they're not interested in giving the people the runaround and have them resubmit their music to make money over and over again. Because essentially these sites work in a very simple way. You get friendly declines over and over again. Yeah, it wasn't good enough this time, but it's pretty good. Send us some more songs next time, This is exactly the kind of feedback that these sites like, because that way people come back and keep paying. They don't want artists, they don't want people that say, you're not good enough, it's going to take you another 2 years, goodbye. Or, yep, we're going to sign you. Because in both cases, they're going to be out of the pool. They need to keep you thinking that you're going to make it the next time. Next song you're submitting is going to be the one that's going to be picked up. It was good this time, but next time you're going to be picked up. And then eventually, you've spent hundreds of bucks and you've gotten feedbacks from 17-year-old girls that run blogs that 5 people read. And these are the big reviewers, Hey, Bobo, thanks for subscribing for 21 months. I have to make a fucking special reward for Bobo. 21 months. That has got to be all of it. I think Bobo has got to have subscribed like the first day that I streamed, and he's been subscribed to this channel since then. So if you're watching this, Then Bobo, thank you very much, because this does two things. Number one, it shows me that you really support me, which I really appreciate, because a lot of people support me without actually support. I think a week after becoming affiliate, I think it was like one of the first shows that you signed on, and this is it. You need fans and you need supporters, and Bobo is one of these guys. He doesn't, he kind of like does his own thing a lot of times, but who signs on to your show and then 2 years later is still a subscriber, even if it's only a few dollars a month. If everybody would do that, I could essentially live off the show. Point is that people don't, because they don't think it's valuable enough, or it's available enough. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's every musician is asking themselves always this one thing: why do I have so many followers and so few people who support me? But this is one of the dilemmas of the creative industry, that you just have a lot of people that enjoy your stuff and just never even think of donating anything to you for whatever reason. And it's not because of me. It's everybody. For every 100 people that you have one person who supports you, and these people are really important because they're, 1 out of 100. So yeah. At this time, I also want to thank Lada Pichi, who is boosting our Discord server, which is also very nice. Vifa, I think, is also always subscribed to Twitch. And everybody who is supporting the label or its creatives in any way. I'm totally fine with you supporting the artist that you like. You don't have to support the label or me. Just support the people that you like. It would be really cool. And Bobo, who's been with us for all this time, 21 months now. I'm gonna, one day, when the fucking COVID is over, I'm gonna come to Belgium. I'm gonna drink fruity beer and eat fries. Because I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to go to Belgium to eat fries with mayonnaise. Because I actually like good fries with mayonnaise. I also like fried chicken, but that's another thing. I don't know if that's a Belgian thing. So, and then the fruity beers and stuff. Belgium has some really weird beers. So, thanks Bobo, and thanks everybody who is supporting us. And if you're an artist, be very careful and note who the people are that are supporting you, because they can be people who are completely off your radar. For me, it's usually people who are not totally on the radar. The people that are always talking, the people that are very present, are usually the people that want something from you. They're not the people that give something to you. I have to say that a lot of people who support the show, who support Meg, who support the label, who support Cygnus, anybody, are people who are actually the more quiet people, who are not always up in everybody's face, but their opinion matters the most, because they're the ones that actually support you. So don't make content for the vocal majority of people who don't give a shit about you. Make content for the silent minority that actually do. And that's a tip for any artist. Bobo says they have KFC. Yes, we will go to KFC also. I will come to Belgium with Meg. We'll go to... Where the fuck do you go in Belgium? The only thing I know literally is Brussels. And that's not for touristic reasons. I don't know where you would go. But you're going to tell us. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, so focus on these people that support you. And do something for you. I mean, a lot of people don't have $4 or $5 a month to spend on you. And I know you might think that's funny. I'm talking about people who live in places like Venezuela, in Africa, in various places in the world that can still be your fans, and they don't have $4 a month to spend. So do give them some leeway, because they don't. People that kind of like live in the northern hemisphere, in the Western world, and they don't have $4 to spend on you every month, they probably don't think you're really that important. And you have to accept that, and that will be most people. Again, out of 100 people that follow you, only one person will do. And for other people, like, I don't know, I'm not going to say any name here. I don't want to turn anybody down, but I know people, artists that have huge amount of following, and nobody buys their stuff. Like lots and lots of personal friends, lots and lots of people replying sorry, whenever they release music, but they will not go past that clicking on a free song, clicking on a free video. They will not buy a shirt, they will not buy a CD, they will not subscribe to a channel, they will not donate any money or anything like that. And many times I talk to artists, and it's frustrating, because they feel like they do a lot, and they work for their fans, and they make various types of content, and the fans are always happy and engaging, etc., but just nothing comes out. And when I talk to these artists, I usually say, you have 5 people who support you. What are you doing for them? What have you done for them today? And they usually say, oh, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, you should think about that. Know who your real fans are, and help them get what they want. 45 minutes with the train from me. Oh, you mean Brussels? Okay. No, waffles. Belgium waffles. Is that a thing? Because I know Belgium waffles. I think the only associations with Belgium I have is through food. Yeah, so fans. And I think one of the very first videos I made before I was streaming, I made a video, and it's called Fans versus Followers, Followers versus Fans, something like that. And it's a concept that over the years I've always come back to and said, you might have a follower, but you don't have a fan. I know people that have 50,000 followers, and I mean like 50,000 actual people, not 50,000 fucking bots. 50,000 actual followers, and damn well every one of them knows the artist, which is amazing, fucking amazing. If you have 50,000 people that have seen you, connected with you over the course of your 30 years career, wow. And like 3 people buy your stuff. So your ratio is like 30,000 to 3. So it's 1 out of 1,000. And that's actually what we're dealing with. We're dealing with ratios anywhere from 100 to 1,000 of where people buy and support an artist. So if 1 out of 100 support you, you're pretty good. If 1 out of 1,000 support you, you're not good. And our people that have problems with monetization are 1 to 1,000 people. And our people that are pretty good with monetization are 1 to 100 people. And there's the factor 10 between that. And that's what you as an artist can influence. And that's what you as an artist can make the difference in doing that. And one of it is just telling people that there's something to buy, A lot of people don't know that there's something to buy. They don't know where they can go to get some stuff. And we're gonna make a new initiative on that front, probably in winter, and kind of like overhaul our e-commerce strategy and streamline our channels so people can get the content that they like and support the people that they want. But it's a tremendous amount of work to do that. And it's gonna be done for the people that have the most relevance in that monetization game. But a lot of artists feel bad if they ask their fans to buy something. And then I always say, don't ask them to buy something. Tell them that you have something new, you know? I started wearing my own merch and a hat and Count Zero head and blah whatnot. Then people started buying merch sometimes, you know? Just tell people that it's available. That's it. You don't have to beg people to buy stuff from you. Just tell people it's available, and it would be super cool if they got it. Because that's true. It is available, and you would be super happy if they got it because there's something in it for you as well. Plus, of course, it's a huge ego boost if somebody likes you as an artist so much that they're buying your stuff, you know, because it shows that they're actually committed to you. And so you're happy on two levels. To me, it doesn't matter if somebody buys something for $1 or $10. It's actually that they're doing something. And this is this generally really good. So this was the AMA for today. It was show number 176, and we had McDavid. I'm going to say McDavid, who asked the question about demos. And we had Yo-Yo, who asked the question about oil. And that was it. That was the world's most interesting AMA. But I have to say, I had these before. I found a very old AMA from me when I was just starting on Reddit. And it actually had like 20 replies or something on it, but people generally are very interested in AMAs with famous people. And this last topic for today, just as it always is with artists, everything is about the fame. Everything is about the fame. Everything is about the number, and this is usually how they're taken advantage of. Because all of the scams that I know and all of the shady businesses in the music industry always essentially root in the fact that you do some fake name calling or you have some fake numbers, etc. I once saw a fake record label that had endorsements from just about anybody who was anything in EDM music, and it was just a dude scamming people from Bulgaria. He had just made a website, pretended to be a record label, just put DJ's pictures on there and fake statements. And David Guetta says, "Do You in the Butt Records is the best thing ever. You should totally sign to this guy." And people were fucking believing it. You know, and here's other people being being honest business people, saying what they have, and then people are laughing at these indie labels, saying, "Yeah, but you're not like these people, you're not like those people." And I'm like, yeah, let me tell you about these people. They're fucking lying. It's not true what they're saying, and sometimes they're even fraudulent. So what can I say? That was something I also had to learn. There's a lot of people who fall for the dumbest shit. And the music industry is full of people who are taking advantage of these people that fall for the dumbest shit. All right, guys, that was another week of Record Label Boss. Another monologue. I'm going to come back on Monday. Then I'm going to come back on Wednesday, and it's going to be the last show for Season 2. And then we're going to wrap up Record Label Boss Season 2 with show 178 on Wednesday. Then I'm going to go into holidays. If you have anything you need of me, you should do it like now. Come to countzerorecords.com/Discord if you have anything to ask, if you have anything to do, because we will be closing the ability to make arrangements with us, to make calls with us, etc. We're kind of like going to be closing the doors for July and August. because we're going to be traveling. We're not going to be here. We're going to go into summer break like we do every year. And if you need something, just let me know. We will be releasing one more big video, which is going to be Mestina U, which has a very good crew of people working on it. Actually, a very expensive and really good crew working on it. They'll be out sometime in July, I think, just before August. It'll be really cool, and it'll be the last thing we release before the summer break. I will be coming back next Monday for Record Label Boss. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful weekend. Maybe you can go swimming. Maybe you can have a great time. Have some entertainment. I'll see you on Monday for show number 177 of Record Label Boss. I love you all. And I'll see you soon. My name is Avio, and this was Record Label Boss. Bye.
Soy